Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in this video, we are going to understand how to add Shopify store signups in Google Sheets and create contacts in Salesforce. So are you also running a Shopify store? Then this video is definitely for you. So here I'm doing the same, I'm running a Shopify store and I'm selling sportswear products on it. So now I want that as soon as someone signs up on my store, which is before making the purchase, automatically the details of that should be added in my Google Sheets too, and with the help of same details, a new contact should be created in my Salesforce CRM too, and that contact should be added in a particular campaign. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Shopify, Google Sheets and then Salesforce. So to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So I'm going to do all of this because I want to track the signups and also want to create targeted marketing campaigns for them. So if you also wish to learn this process step by step, then let me take you to my computer screen.
Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video we are going to learn how to add Shopify store signups in Google Sheets and also create contact in Salesforce. So as you know that I'm running a Shopify store and I'm going to create this automation for this store only. And now I'm also selling some sportswear products on it. Over here you can see my Shopify store, and now I want that as soon as someone signs up on my store, that is before making the purchase, I want to add them in my Google Sheets. Over here you can see the first name, last name and email in my Google Sheets, and I also want to create a contact in my Salesforce CRM with the same details. Over here you can see the example, and I've also added the same contact in my campaign, which is Shopify sign up campaign. So I'm going to do all of this because I want to create targeted marketing campaigns for them and track them. So to do this, I've already opened the landing page of Pabbly simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we'll open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now to access Pabbly Connect. And now it is opening my dashboard, and to start with the automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as add Shopify store signups in Google Sheets and create contact in Salesforce, and then we are going to click on create. And now it is opening the most important window of our automation, that is our workflow window. This is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So where we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So now I'm going to select my trigger application, which is Shopify, because I want that as soon as a new sign up is made on my Shopify store, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to select it. And now for the trigger event, we are going to select it as new customer. And over here you can see that it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are going to use this URL in order to create a connection between our Shopify account and our Pabbly's workflow. So first I'm going to copy this URL and then we are going to follow the help text, and it is saying log into your account, navigate to the settings section, scroll down to the notifications. In the webhook section, click on create webhook and then select customer, create it as the event type. So I'm going to open my Shopify account, and over here you can see that this is my account. From here in the left side bar you can see settings, so we are going to go on this, and over here we are going to scroll, and over here you can see notifications, so we are going to open this, and as you can see webhooks right over here, so we are going to select this. And as you can see that I've already created a webhook, but I'm going to create a new, so I'm going to click on create webhook, and now it is asking me for the event. So over here it is saying that select the event as customer creation, so I'm going to select the same right over here, which is customer creation. For the format we are going to keep it as JSON only, and then we are going to paste the URL we copied from our workflow. And now it is asking me for the webhook API version, so I'm going to keep it as latest, and then we are going to click on save. And yes, you can see that we have successfully added our webhook right over here. And now we are going to open our workflow. And over here, you can see that it is saying waiting for a webhook response. And in the notes, it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission. So in order to do the test submission, I'm going to open my Shopify store again. And from here, we are going to do the test submission. So in the left side bar, you can see online store. So I'm going to click on this I button, which says view your online store. And over here you can see that this is my online store. So now we are going to do the test submission. For that, we are going to click on this. And over here it is asking me to log in. But I wish to create a new account because I want to create this automation whenever someone signs up my Shopify store. So I'm going to click on create account right over here. And now we are going to fill in the details. So I'm going to enter the details as this. First name demo, last name user. For the email, I'm going to keep it as demo user 55@pabblytunes.com. For the password, I'm going to enter a dummy password. And then we are going to click on create. And yes, you can see that we have successfully signed this up. So now I'm going back to my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response of these submission or not. And yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response of this submission. I'm going to scroll and show you the details. Over here you can see the first name. Over here you can see the email. We are going to scroll. Over here you can see the last name. Over here you can see the address name. And yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured all the details. So yes, with this, our trigger step is successful. And now we are moving on to our action step. So for our action application, we are going to select Google Sheets because I want to add these details in my Google Sheets too. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as add new row and then we are going to click on connect. And as you can see that it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection and then sign in with Google. And over here you can see that it is asking me for some permissions. So I'm going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow because Pabbly is safe. And as soon as we are going to click on allow, you can see that we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly's workflow. And over here you can see connected. And now it is asking me for the name of the spreadsheet and the sheet. So I'm going to open my sheet. And over here you can see the name of my spreadsheet is Shopify store sign ups and the name of my sheet is sheet 1. So we are going to select the same in our workflow. For the name of the spreadsheet, we are going to select it as Shopify store sign ups. And then for the sheet, we are going to select it as sheet 1 only. And now it is asking me for the first name, last name and email. So as you can see that these are the same details I have entered right over here. So we are going to map these details. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Shopify as our trigger application. So we are going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new customer created in my Shopify account. So I'm going to give you an example that over here in front of name, if I'm going to enter demo right over here manually, then this will not change with every new customer signed up in my Shopify store because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if I'm going to map it from the previous response, suppose I'm going to search for first name and now we are going to map this demo. So if I'm going to map it from the previous response, it will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping to run our workflow in real time. We are going to map the last name too. So I'm going to search for last name and as you can see user, so we are going to map it. We are going to map the email too. I'm going to search for email and as you can see it, so we are going to map it. And after mapping all of this, we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have successfully added these details in our spreadsheet. So I'm going to open my spreadsheet and yes, you can see first name demo, last name user, email demo user 555@pabblytunes.com. So yes, with this action step is also successful. Now we are going to add another action step because I want to add the same sign up in my Salesforce CRM too. So I'm going to search for Salesforce right over here and as you can see Salesforce, so we are going to select it. So I want to add it as a contact. So for the action event, we are going to select it as create contact and then we are going to click on connect. And as you can see again, it is asking me for the same. So if you have already connected your Salesforce account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection and then connect with Salesforce. And as you can see that that now it is asking me for some permissions. So I'm going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because as you know that our data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow, and again as soon as you are going to click on allow, you can see that we have successfully connected our Salesforce account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the last name. So again we are going to map it. So I'm going to search for last name, and as you can see last name user, so we are going to map it. We are going to do same for the first name. Again I'm going to search for it, and then we are going to map the first name. And now it is asking me for the street, city, country, mailing street, and another details. So as you can see all of these details are not the required details, so I'm going to leave it as blank. We are going to map the email. So I'm going to search for email right over here, and as you can see the email, so we are going to map it. We are going to move on forward. We are going to ignore the details which are not required and directly click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully created a new contact in our Salesforce CRM. Over here, you can see the contact ID too. So I'm going to open my Salesforce CRM, and over here, we are going to refresh this page and check for the new contact created. And over here, you can see demo user. So I'm going to open this. And yes, you can see name demo user. Over here, you can see the email. We have successfully added this contact in our Salesforce account, but I want to add this in the campaign too. So for that, again, we are going to add another action step, and this time for the action application, again we are going to select it as Salesforce. So I'm going to enter it, and then we are going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as add contact to a campaign, and then we are going to click on connect. So as you can see that again it is asking me for the same. So I've already connected my Salesforce account, so now I'm going to click on select existing connection and then save. And as soon as we are going to click on this, you can see that we have successfully connected our Salesforce account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the campaign ID. So I've created this campaign which is Shopify sign up. So I'm going to add the contacts in this campaign. So I'm going to select it, and now it is asking me to select the contact ID, but I don't want to select it. We are going to map it from the previous response because I want this field to turn dynamic. So I'm going to switch on this mapping button, and then we are going to erase the contact ID right over here first. So I'm going to erase this, and then we are going to map this contact ID which we received from our create contact action event in our Salesforce account. So I'm going to map this contact ID, and after mapping this contact ID, now this field has become dynamic, and this contact ID will change with every new contact created in my previous step. So now I'm going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully added this contact in our campaign, which is Shopify sign up. So I'm going to open my Salesforce. Over here, we are going to refresh this page. So as you can see in the campaign, we have added this demo user and this email. So yes, with this, our workflow is successful, but I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So to do this, I'm going to open my store again, and now we are going to do another test submission. So I'm going to open this, and now we are going to enter the different details. So for the first name, I'm going to keep it as test, last name as user, email as testuser555@pabblytudes.com, and for the password, I'm going to keep the dummy password again. And again, we are going to click on create. And yes, you can see that we have successfully signed up this customer in our store too. Over here, you can see that we have successfully signed up. And now this means that Shopify has sent the details of this sign up to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further added the details in our Google Sheets, and also created a contact and added that contact in my Salesforce campaign. So we are going to open our Google Sheets and Salesforce and check that if the details have been added there or not. And this time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request. First, I'll directly open my Google Sheets, and yes, you can see first name test, last name user, where you can see the email too. So yes, the details have been added in our Google Sheets. So now I'm going to open my Salesforce, and over here we're going to refresh this page. So we are going to search for test user, and as you can see test user, so I'm going to open this, and yes, you can see test user. Over here you can see the email. We are going to scroll, and yes, you can see the user has been added in our campaign too. So yes, with this, our workflow is successful, and I'll just summarize the workflow for you once. For a trigger application, we selected Shopify. For the trigger event, we selected new customer. For the action application, we selected Google Sheets, and then for the action event, we selected add new row. Again, for the action application, we selected Salesforce, and then for the action event, we selected create a contact and add contact to a campaign, because I wanted that as soon as a new sign up is made on my Shopify store, automatically the details of that sign up should be added in my Google Sheets. And further, with the help of that sign up, a new contact should be created in my Salesforce CRM, and then that contact should be added in my campaign, which is Shopify sign up campaign in my Salesforce CRM. And yes, we were successful with our workflow. Over here you can see that we added test user in our campaign, which is Shopify sign up, and over here you can see the email too, and over here we also added demo user in our campaign. I'm going to show you, and yes, you can see the same. So yes, with this our workflow is successful, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. Thank you for watching.
Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.